Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, it's right behind my back.
All right, cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
On this episode of Code Blue in America, the breaking news segment, democracy got a chokehold it didn't see coming. Senator of the United States of America body slammed and handcuffed. What started as a routine DHS press briefing ended in something resembling a deleted scene from a political action movie. Senator Alex Padilla, DCA, armed only with a question and a functioning vocal cord, was swiftly intercepted by agents who apparently thought asking tough questions was code for threat level midnight. Despite calmly identifying himself, "I am Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary." Agents treated the senator like he was auditioning for a stuntman role, tackled, cuffed, and escorted away while still holding onto his dignity and his Senate ID somewhere.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, it's right behind my back.
All right, cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat. Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right?
DHS's explanation was, to put it mildly, creative. They claimed the senator didn't display his Senate pin and lunged at Secretary Kristi Noem. A word here seems to mean stood politely 10 feet away. Noem, staying on brand, referred to him only as this man, which is how most of us refer to someone we cut in front of at the grocery store, not a sitting U.S. senator.
You know, what I would say is we were conducting a press conference to update everyone on the enforcement actions that are ongoing to bring peace to the city of Los Angeles. And this man burst into the room, started lunging towards the podium, interrupting me and elevating his voice, and was stopped, did not identify himself, and was removed from the room. So as soon as he identified himself, appropriate actions were taken. But I would say that, I had a conversation with the senator after this. We sat down for 10 to 15 minutes and talked about the fact that nobody knew who he was. He didn't.
The video, however, said otherwise. Padilla wasn't lunging. He was leaning into democracy.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
Reactions were swift and spicy. Democrats shouted, "Authoritarian!"
A United States senator was just slammed to the ground while trying to ask questions of this administration about their policies. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is a dictatorship, authoritarianism on steroids. This cannot be allowed to stand.
I've come to the floor to say I'm extremely outraged that the executive branch's security team have shoved a U.S. senator out of a room, have proceeded to put that U.S. senator on the ground and to handcuff that senator. This is what we expect to see in authoritarian nations. They can't tolerate a question, and they start to attack the institutions. This is what we're seeing in the U.S. right now. We're seeing it in the form of the president willfully breaking the law on the rules controlling the executive branch time and time again. We see it in his attack on the press, his attack on the universities, his attack on extorting law firms. We see it in the form of his using the Trump versus United States lawsuit to say, I, the president, am above the law, and I can issue pardons, so the whole executive branch is above the law. That is not the way it works in a republic. At least, it's not the way it works if we are a republic. If we, through a subservient Congress and a combination with a deferential Supreme Court, slide into this authoritarian state, then we have failed our oath to the Constitution. It is absolutely wrong that any U.S. senator, for attempting to ask a question, be treated in this fashion. I double down on the call of Leader Schumer. This merits a full bipartisan investigation. Bipartisan because all of us are members of the legislative branch. All of us have taken an oath to the Constitution, and all of us should stand up for each other and certainly our ability to explore the policies of this administration. Thank you, Mr. President.
While Republicans muttered awkward, Chuck Schumer called it sickening manhandling, and Gavin Newsom called it dictatorial, which in California is one step above egregious, but two steps below totally bogus. Meanwhile, GOP reactions range from maybe he deserved it to yeah, but the optics are kind of yikes. Yet, in a twist worthy of daytime television, Noam and Padilla actually met afterward for a closed-door chat, exchanged numbers, no word on emojis, and agreed to keep talking. Whether this leads to solutions or just quieter hallways remains to be seen. But let's not miss the bigger picture. We witnessed a senator get tackled for doing his job asking questions because DHS couldn't handle the heat without deploying the handcuffs. This wasn't just about one man's knees meeting federal carpeting. It was a high-stakes showdown over power, oversight, and whether democracy should require body armor. With DHS bringing Marines to immigration enforcement and Congress asking for a calendar invite, tensions are clearly peaking. Constitutional crisis? Oh, that line was crossed a long time ago, and Congress isn't going to do a damn thing about it. Right now, we're all at the behest of a tyrannical king. A dictator takes full shape in America. And that is the cold truth on Code Blue in America, only on OGMnews.com. Until next time, stay alert, stay accountable, and maybe wear your Senate pin in neon.